Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to, well, the first video I'm making of the new year, I guess. So, I haven't went over anything to do with Borderlands 4 so far. I'm not really a Borderlands YouTuber, but I want to throw my hat in the ring, and so I decided I don't like how many of the YouTubers were handling their wants and their don't wants for Borderlands 4. They've always been saying the same thing, or they've been saying something stupid, in my opinion. So, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring, and what I've got here is I've got something quite special. I have a couple lists, a list of 5 things I do want in Borderlands 4, and 5 things that I don't want in Borderlands 4. I'm going to alternate going between them, and yeah. You guys can agree with me or not, but these are personally things that I feel. It took me a while to more so think about things I do want, but I have an honorable mention for each category as well. So we're going to alternate between things I do want, then don't want. And I'm just going to go over them in order. It's not really a sort of what I want the most. There's some that I do want more than others, but I'm just going to go over them in order. So, let's just begin already. Because, well, I have an hour of footage. I might be using all of this audio for it. We'll see. So let's start with the first thing I do want in Borderlands 4. And this is kind of a strange feature, which is going to cause some glitches. I know that much. But what I want is a feature that allows people to set bounties on certain enemies or bosses. The way that I want this to work is you could go look at an enemy and mark them. And then if you go into your social tab, you can set a bounty on that target and say to your friends, or to maybe send out a random bounty to someone, to just a random person around the world, like, oh, here, go kill this guy. And you can make like your own little story, like a description, saying why you want them dead. So you can say like, here's a bandit that killed me once in my one life, I want you guys to kill him. Or you can make one that has some really obscure lore. Like, oh, this bandit has been leading a faction that's about to destroy everything. I feel like that'd be cool, and you could say, how's this going to cause glitches? Well, obviously set a reward. If you're going to set a bounty, you can't just give the bounty to everyone and have it be first come, first serve. This is Gearbox they're talking about. They're not going to be able to implement that. They're not going to be able to implement it without any problems to begin with. Because if they do implement this, it's probably going to be something at the start of the game, there's bounties, and then 5 people can clear them once and all get the same reward. Now you can say, what's the reward you set? Set whatever you want. Put some money in there. Like if you want to be a story-based mission, put in a reward that's like a couple $100,000, dollars in the game. Could be nice for people who want to upgrade their storage deck upgrades. I feel like that could be cool. Or say there's a gun that you don't want. Like say you go through the game, you just finished it for the first time, and you have a level 13 blue rarity weapon that you got from a mission. You're like, I don't really want it. Instead of trashing it or selling it, why not set up a bounty for someone on a lower difficulty? And like, I feel like that'd be cool. Like, oh, you killed this guy, here's a cool weapon for you. I know people are gonna use white rarities and stuff like that, or they're gonna go on Ultimate War Hunter, for example, and just put a level 1 gun in there. But here's where I think it should work. If you set a bounty in Vault Hunter mode, you have to give him a weapon that's in Vault Hunter mode. And in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, you have to give him weapons you got in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, even if it's a low level one you got. I feel like it would be something cool just to have. I feel like bounties would be just an amazing thing people could do, and it would change the farming loop of the game. I know Borderlands 3 and Wonderlands is just legendaries up the arse all the time, and that is true. For absolute sure. But I feel like it'd be just fun for a bunch of people. Like, I guess the story I could use my friend Evil Assassin. John, if you watch this video, I'm sorry. But, there's an enemy in Borderlands, I can't remember which one it was, but it always chucked him off a ledge. It just chucked him off a ledge. I feel like it'd be so funny if he kept falling off a ledge, just set a bounty on that boss. I was like, kill him, he keeps pushing me off a ledge. And he just had some sort of really cool weapon. I just feel like that would be fun. You guys can agree or not agree, but I feel like it's just great. I feel like a bounty is something that could be really cool. Let's see, where is my don'ts? There's my don'ts. Yeah, my don'ts list is actually like just way less worse than the do's. I literally have two files, one called do's and one called don'ts. But yeah, this one I can go on forever. But the first thing that I don't want in the game, no stupid takedown mechanics. Looking at you, Guardian Takedown. You guys gonna see me go for Guardian Takedown in this video. I don't actually record the footage and the audio separate. But I don't want to play Capture the Flag. I hate playing... I hate going for the Guardian Takedown's flag and having to just have a red fan in my inventory with Gamma Burst. It helps me get past the crystals. And I fully acknowledge that. But I don't want a stupid mechanic. The fun of Borderlands is going in to an area and killing enemies with your pure own skill. Like some sort of environmental hazard shouldn't be what stops you in a timed event. Well, I know it's a timed event, but you guys know what I mean. I don't want a feign. I just don't want to play Capture the Flag. Maliwan Takedown is loved way more than Guardian because, well, Maliwan doesn't do anything stupid. Do you wonder why we haven't got another takedown? Because how are they going to be Capture the Flag? A bunch of Guardians that just walk into the crystals anyways. It's just not fun. I know Guardian was designed for multiplayer. But Borderlands is a looter shooter first and a multiplayer game second in my opinion. You should be able to do any endgame content without having to use some sort of weird exploit. Like, I just... Fine. You guys can understand why I don't want a stupid Guardian takedown mechanic. If you're going to do a Capture the Flag thing, just have it be that if you're out of the area that you have to protect, that it stops charging. You can make the enemies charge them slower, but just don't do something like Capture the Flag, especially for Guardian takedown. I just think it's stupid. There's other things about takedowns that are stupid as well. In Guardian, you guys already know, I'll be talking about later in the don'ts, but yeah. No. Fucking Capture the Flag. Do not, if you're gonna, like, you can give us a puzzle to solve in a certain amount of time, sure, while enemies are attacking us. Because there's only so many solutions, but I would rather not. I would love to just one gun an area, and the biggest threat that should be there is me dying. Either to an enemy that decides to hide behind cover, a ledge, something. Just don't insta-kill us. But anyways, the second want is a little bit like, it doesn't need to be in the game. It doesn't need to be in the game realistically. It's just something I think would be good and would be beneficial for the game. It's kind of in the don'ts as well, but it's in do's. So I want arenas that are designed specifically for duels. Let's be real, duels in Borderlands have always sucked. In Borderlands 2, you had a teeny tiny area where someone could just fire a rocket launcher in the center and you're dead. It's stupid. Pre-sequel was the exact same. The only thing that helped pre-sequel's duels was the zero gravity, because then you could at least, I don't know, jump pretty high. Now you can say you could leave the arena for a couple seconds, but it doesn't change the fact that duels in Borderlands 2 is just whoever fires the North Fleet first. And in pre-sequel there was a weapon that just automatically hit people. So yeah, I just think we should get a dedicated part of Sanctuary that's designed for War Hunters fighting War Hunters. Even if they just banned like certain weapons and that. I think it'd just be a nice way. Maybe you could even do a previous Vault Hunters, because you saw Zane's coming back and he's gone old and has a man bug. But yeah, I would like just a specific arena that is good. Especially since there's some other issues as well. Like, a good example is just Maya's phase lock in 2. If you're against the Maya and they don't have a North Fleet, you know they're just going to phase lock you. They're going to look at the action skill button and just click it while looking at you and you're dead. That's why I think an arena would be kind of cool. I was thinking something similar to Arms as well, but no. I don't want a Battle Royale in my Borderlands game. Like, if you could do a PvP version of Arms Race, where the goal is to kill a boss first. That'd be kind of cool. But we do need an arena designed for Fane. I know I didn't talk about Borderlands 3's duels pass because no one fucking uses it. No one uses a duel in Borderlands 3. In the other games, yeah, but I would like it to be a test of skill. It's just, ooh, I clicked shoot first with a rocket launcher. Oh, I clicked the action skill. Oh, I was 0 and I threw my deception out before the duel started and got behind you without being hit. It's just dumb. And yes, lifesteal does invalidate duels as well, but at least with a duel you'll gain one shot. Like, let's be real. Like, Borderlands 3 did add the whole multiple people can join a duel, but that doesn't do anything. It means if 2 people start a duel in the menus and better weapon, a third person can jump in at the last second and just whip out a rocket launcher and steal the gun from you all. So design an arena for Borderlands where 2 people can go in and actually try to do something really cool. Like actually get a cool, decent kill. But enough about that. The next don't. This is a short one, but it's also a sweet one. This is don't make power creep versions of existing guns. The Dictator and Monarch are the prime examples of this. Don't just make a version of a gun that's just a better version of a gun that exists. I hate people's over-reliance on the Monarch. I hate people's over-reliance on all the other weapons that are the same as something else. The what's it called? The Q system, I think, is one of them. Whereas basically the other Alice assault rifle, can't remember its name. It's the one I used, but I completely forgot about it. But yeah, if you're gonna just make a power creep version weapon, just make that the buff. Like, seriously? I would rather just Fane. I'd rather just have not the Monarch, I'd rather have the Dictator just get buffs that was like the Monarch. Yes, I'd be complaining about the Dictator right now, but I just don't like people's over-reliance on the Monarch, especially on Flak. I feel like it invalidates anyone who plays Flak because they don't seem to know what the fuck he's all about. And yes, you'll see me running around with a Jacobs build. That's what Flak is all about. He's about landing Chris and their effects, not just, ooh, all these projectiles are equipped with you at. If you're gonna just make a power creep version of weapon, just don't. Alright? I know the Rain Invitation falls into that category, and I do use the Rain Invitation, but at least it's a Jacobs weapon that uses ice other than the Clairvoyance. The Rain Invitation was out way before the Clairvoyance as well. Like, jeez. But yeah, just don't make a piece of gear that does the exact same thing as another piece of gear. Look at Risk of Rain 2, a game published by Gearbox. They brought out items that are literally just the exact same thing as something else, and then they realized it and fixed it. So Gearbox, if you can have Risk of Rain, do it for Borderlands. Next, for the do's. I want more fun Easter eggs. To be honest, I barely remember any of the Easter eggs in Borderlands 3. At all. I didn't even think I understood an Easter egg in Wonderlands. The only one I do remember from 3 is the Rick and Morty enemies. I don't even like that Easter egg. I don't even like Rick and Morty. I just know it's a Rick and Morty weapons. Like, jeez, Borderlands 1 and 2 had some very fun ones. You had the whole Minecraft Easter egg. You had the Scooby-Doo Easter egg from Zombie Island. Like, there's so many that you can actually go and understand. And the Minecraft one was really good. You went to a secret area in Costa Cabas, an area you never have to even go to, by the way. You then found some weird blocks, you punch them, you go in and see a creeper, and you go, oh god. Like, I played Borderlands 2 before I even played Minecraft. And I understood, well, I didn't understand the Easter egg, but I loved it because of that. Hell, Lord of the Rings Easter egg, that's a good one. And yes, I'm trying to think of a Borderlands 1 Easter egg. I will search one up. In fact, I will search one up. Oh. Borderlands 1. Ignore the Devil May Cry sound effects going on. And the Pokemon one. claptrap in Firestone Mountains. You can find hidden vending machines. T-Road Junction Marcus's shop. And there are secret switches. Yeah, you had the whole Easter egg as well with Tannis Road, a fish. This appeared in every Borderlands game, I think. I think it appeared in 3, I don't remember. But I do want some more fun Easter eggs and some cool Easter egg guns. Like, jeez. Some cool Easter eggs I think would be cool. Get a gun from Terraria. Because the guns in Terraria are fun, let's be real. Get a mini shark in there as a weapon, because they've shown that they have mini guns now. Make a mini shark weapon. Reference time splitters. Reference Doom in a cool way. I know that the Hellwalker is a Doom weapon, but it plays a single sound from Doom 2018 soundtrack. I don't really want to count that. I would like a cool shield that makes you look like a Doom guy. Or make a colour scheme that looks like Doom guy. I know we can do our own colour schemes in Borderlands 3, but it's so tricky. The only character you can make look like Doom guy is Flak, to be honest. You could make the others look like they're wearing a suit based on his outfit, but Flak would be the one that looks like him the closest. But yeah, want some cool stuff. Like some really cool shit. And before you guys ask, what's Time Splitters? I did a Let's Play on it. Go look at it. It's a fantastic game. Just make a grenade called the Temporal Cortex. And literally all it has to do is bounce enemies about. Literally all you gotta do. Or it throws a barrel at someone. Yeah, do that. I know it's something like that in Borderlands 3. But it's way more funny than Time Splitters. You literally just pick up a barrel and just launch it. The next don't. Okay, yeah, this is one that everyone keeps saying, but honestly it's a fair enough point. No anointments or enchantments. If they're going to be in the game, just let us change them from the start. The fact that it took as long as it did to be able to change them is stupid. When everyone had maxed out Iridium, we finally got to change them. There are some stupid anointments as well in Borderlands 3. I think the UAD one is really stupid. Let's just face it, I will always think it's like a oh, not UAD, the one that when you're under 50% health do another element of damage. I just don't think that's a good one. And there's some really generic ones as well that everyone's just going to use. It's kind of like a Yu-Gi-Oh deck, to be honest, where you just go super generic. You make sure you can do whatever you need to do without having a sort of benefit. Like the Gamma Burst one is stupid, the Gravity Snare one's stupid because it doesn't work. The Phase Orb one, I don't even remember what it does, but it's pretty bad. All of Iron Bears are the same. Just while Iron Bear is active, your weapon does more damage. Zane's... trying to remember, Zane is just actually skill staff most of the time, but he does have some very specific ones. But I don't remember most of them. But I just don't think we should have anointments or enchants. You want something special to put on weapons? Farming Pass was difficult enough. But at least Farming Pass wasn't something that was mandatory. You could still play the game without getting the pass you want, and still have a good time. The only time weapon pass really mattered is if someone was in a one life. I was like, yeah, I should have the best possible chance. But do not bring the noise and the chance back. Or if they're gonna come back, don't make them super generic. Make them under specific circumstances. Like, jeez. But the next thing that I want is... oh, number 4 is a good one. Give TDO and Dull some love. TDO in Borderlands 2 was really fun. There was an entire build about chucking a gun at a boss and then just keeling over. Yes, I'm talking about Hyperius. Or is it Hyperius? I can't remember his name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. If you're watching the Borderlands, you probably know what I'm talking about. I know TDO got the whole, like, special weapons thing, but in 3, but the thing is that when you chuck a weapon that walks around on legs, it does not count. I don't think it counts as a companion. It doesn't seem to. Even then, it doesn't really matter. Like, hell, they changed Tideo that much and they had the, what's it called? The one from Arms Race, where it literally did, you did chuck it, but all it did was spawn 3 more versions of stuff around you. It didn't even work like an actual Tideo. There's someone that the Evil Assassin likes a lot. I don't remember the name of it. And that's because Arms Race is boring. Like, I'm not going to talk about Arms Race in this video, to be honest. But Tideo just doesn't do a lot in Borderlands 3. It's just fun. And Doll has just changed the firing mode from full auto to burst. Wow. Like, really? I think you have 2 weapon types that are all about changing their, like, shooting type. And Doll is just burst fire, not burst fire. Burst fire, not burst fire. And I don't think anyone uses a Doll weapon in the game. Because of how just the thing. It's just boring. It doesn't do anything special. Now, how would I change this? I'd make it so Tideo could do a lot of different things when you chuck it. Sometimes it spawns a version of itself that floats around you. Sometimes it walks around the legs. And sometimes it's like the ones in Borderlands 2 where you chuck it and it bounces around the ground. Why not even have one when you chuck it, like when you reload it and chuck it, it actually turns into your grenade? I think that'd be cool. Or one that you chuck that does melee damage. Imagine that on a melee character. That'd be kind of cool. A melee character would now look at Tideo and be like, ooh, that's kind of cool. Like they would actually think for a couple seconds. I think that'd be cool because you have that new character shown, the big buff guy that looks a bit like Doom Guy, I guess. Similar armor. The face is not as generic, but he has those 2 giant axes. Would it not be cool if he could hold a Tideo gun and think and look at it for a second and go like, huh, and just chuck at someone and it does melee damage? Because he's clearly a melee-centric character. He has to be. That would be so cool. I think it'd just be great. For now, change your shooting pattern, to be honest. Just do what you did for, like, you know, the Monarch, well, the Dictator and Monarch and that. I'm trying to remember if they are Doll or not. Thinking about it, I'm going to have to search this up. DL3 Dictator. I was still going to do that. Dictator is manufactured by Vladov. Yeah, just combine Vladov and Doll together. Let's be real. But it'd be kind of cool to change your shooting pattern, or I don't know, you change your shooting mode and does something specific. Honestly, one thing I can think of that would make Doll necessary is it looks like Slag is gonna come back because of the way the Siren looks. Like she has purple tattoos. Instead of Slag being an element, why not make Slag a Doll exclusive element? Wouldn't that be interesting? Now you have to think about if you want to use a Doll weapon or not. I know what people are going to say, you know, like, oh, that means a Doll is going to be necessary, like a Guard Dodge, and yeah, that's true. But, like, a Doll needs to do something other than just change its thing. Maybe make it so you can change how it aims? Like, maybe make it so when you aim down sight and press a button, it zooms in or zooms out, like variable scopes? Would that not be a bit more interesting for a Doll weapon than just burst fire, not burst fire, burst fire, not burst fire? Or maybe change how they shoot entirely. How about you get a pistol that shoots like a shotgun when you change its firing mode? So it gets more projectiles and it shoots in, like, it shoots as fast as you can pull the trigger. So kind of like a Jacobs, I guess. Which honestly, that's how Jacobs used to be. Fire as fast as you pull the trigger is a bit like that in Borderlands 3, but it feels way slower. But maybe make it so Doll can be as fast as you pull the trigger, or you change its firing mode to a different gun. Or how about a gun that just changes entirely? Here's a Doll assault rifle. Press a button, now it's a sniper. Cool. Like, I would be all for that. Like, just guns that change their parts. And, like, that's just something I think Tideo and Doll need. There are other weapon manufacturers that do need a little bit of something, but Tideo and Doll need it the most. And, like, let's be real, who uses a Doll build? Like, maybe the Siren. And the Siren's a bit finicky, because the Siren usually has a way just to recover the health, so they usually outlive an enemy through a Doll build, instead of just actually killing them. The next don't. Wow. On the first list I've got, the fourth thing for dues is way below half of the page that I'm looking at. On the right is like literally 4 lines down from the top. But this is the biggest one for me personally. Like if I had to do these in order 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, this would be number 1 for those. Fuck off with the immunity phases. If I kick a boss's ass, I don't want to go in. Wait. I said time out, mate. Stop shooting me. The fun of Borderlands to me is making a build that's fun to use and kill a boss in a really cool way. Zero with Boar, Maya with the Blurred Trickster, Axton against Rastus with his Terrace, Kriegblood's Explosion. Gage's Anarchy is a bit finicky. And no, I'm not talking about Salvador, because Salvador is the worst Borderlands 2 character. Yeah, I will fight anyone that says it. But can you kill a 6? I don't care if Salvador is that overpowered. He's boring to play as. And just a terrible character. Like, thank God he's only a fucking echo in Borderlands 3. But the thing about immunity phases is, imagine Borderlands 2 if Zero used his boar effect and it barely did anything. That's an immunity phase. It's just a boss saying, wait, go do something else. The biggest offender of this is Anathema. The 2 bosses from Guardian Takedown, where there are 12, they're not 12, but there are 11 immunity phases, then dead. They are terrible because of that. Tyrene is also another one. You shoot it for 2 seconds, she goes, ah! And then she just hides. And Troy does the same as well. There's so many bosses with an immunity phase, and there's none you can kill in a single thing. Now, one with the fastest immunity phases is Hermivorous. Because it's Hermivorous changing how the fight is. Yeah, Hermivorous is flying in the sky now, congrats. That changes the fight a bit. Whereas a boss immunity phase is going, no. I said wait. No, don't kill me. It just makes a build stupid. And you know how I said about Zero with Boar? You could argue the bunker does that whole thing. You could one-shot Boar bunker and then you have to wait for bunker to fly around the arena and then die. But that's fine. It's not bunker just being immune to damage for a couple seconds and then just being shot for 2 seconds and fine. It's not bunker stalling out for time. It's not bunker waiting up some insta-kill attack. It's bunker literally just having to land somewhere so they can drop his loot without it falling off a ledge. And that's okay. But don't have immunity phases in Borderlands 4. Wonderlands had immunity phases as well, but at least they were quick. But yeah, no immunity phases. And if you're going to make a takedown boss, don't give him more than 10. Don't even give him more than 5. Make the boss have something interesting. Or just make it so you have to do something specific to end the immunity phases. Troy is honestly the biggest outlier in this, where he flies to where Tyrene starts leeching him and you have to shoot all of those panels. It doesn't really end the immunity phase, but it stops it from killing you. How about if someone goes to an immunity phase, they fly to a platform and you have to get to that platform and punch them or something. Or just no immunity phases. Problem solved. Like, jeez. But yeah, no immunity phases, just don't. The fun of Borderlands is, again, to be able to find a build that works for you and kills a boss. And literally immunity phases invalidate that. Oh, you made an Amara build that can one-shot a guy? Great. Now here's the immunity phase. Like, that's the thing. Sean Masterici, there was one guy that he found that he could actually skip all the immunity phases for and kill someone in an immunity phase. I don't remember who it was, but it was with Amara. I want to say it was the doctor from the Krieg DLC, but I could be wrong about that. But the fact that he had to go that far in a DLC that he had glitched, by the way. You guys remember my Amara build? That build was designed to help him get to an area he couldn't access in the DLC. But yeah, you shouldn't have to exploit an immunity phase to kill a boss. So just don't do an immunity phase. Just get rid of them. Let's see, we'll go over the honorable mentions for do's and don'ts next. I haven't passed the 5th, but they're pretty easy to just go over, so I'll just do that. For another thing that I want in Borderlands 4, another do, the honorable mention is more seasonal events. Borderlands 3's Hollow Hunt, really good. Cartels is fun apart from the final boss. Valentine's was okay with the Broken Hearts Day, giving you some cool weapons for killing certain enemies, but I'd like a full-on Valentine's event. But we never got an Easter, Christmas, or summer event. We had those in Borderlands too. So, what's one of them? Even if they're just headhunters. Like a free headhunter DLC, just do that. More weapons, more loot, and more fun stories to go through. I'm all for that. Especially when you have some really cool, like, actual ones in Borderlands 2. Remember the Hollow Hunt DLC? Amazing. The Christmas one, brilliant. They're just short little side adventures that aren't really canon, but they're there. They're just fun. Do more events based on certain holidays and seasons even. Like, make a summer themed thing. I know people could say, oh, but they're not celebrating this holiday. And I do understand that to a degree, but Gearbox isn't going to be able to implement every single holiday into a Borderlands game. You know how much content that would be? Especially if a new holiday just gets invented. Like, they would be developing Borderlands for headhunters and seasonal events till the end of time. With just Borderlands 4, if that were the case. So why not just do the ones that people will, the majority of people will know, and the majority of people will love. Like, we never got a Christmas thing in Borderlands 3, like, at all. Like, and for Broken Hearts Day, which is the Valentine's event, I do like it, but honestly, I only have it enabled if I just want a new wedding invitation. And I don't even enable it anymore because I have the wedding invitation that I want. And we never really got a full-on Easter like thing. I know Easter is a very religious holiday, but why not just have an Easter bunny boss that's all about chucking explosive eggs all around the arena? And just runs about. I feel like that'd be funny. It'd be a bit like the leprechaun from the St. Patrick's Day one from Borderlands 2, where it's just a little guy that you have to run around and shoot to get some cool stuff. I feel like that'd be interesting. Why not do that? Make a rocket launcher that fires a giant egg at people, or a grenade that bounces around like a rabbit does. They don't have to be overpowered, but just have fun gimmicks for some cool weapons. For the honorable mention in the don'ts, this is a pretty easy one. You guys probably already know what it is. The honorable mention for don'ts is working skill trees. The Flax purple tree is stupid. Zane's was also broken when it first came out, if I remember correctly. And Mo's had some issues of hers, and Amara's was too overpowered that they had to nerf it like 3 times. But if you're going to introduce a 4th skill tree, I'd rather just have a Vault Hunter you could fix. And you still not, like Gearbox for fuck's sake, you've not even fixed Flax skill tree. What the hell? Like, his whole purple skill tree was all about getting enemies stuck in the air and the load system and shoot them for a bit, but that doesn't work. The only thing that works about it is the fucking gravity snare. Even then, the gravity snare is not a great action skill. Like, think about what you got. You got your wax, which people use UAD for. You've got your fadeaway, which everyone uses. And you've got your gamma burst, which people use for the Guardian takedown. I don't think anyone has even considered using the gravity snare, and that's because the skill tree doesn't work. Like, how are we supposed to use a skill that's probably going to break itself? We can't trust the thing. We can't trust Gearbox to make a new skill tree, and honestly, people say they want DLC Vault Hunters. Like, all of the Borderlands YouTubers said they want DLC Vault Hunters. Do you really trust them to make a DLC Vault Hunter and have all of their skill trees work? I would love a DLC Vault Hunter. Gage agreed with Gray, and so was Timothy and Aurelia. But if they try to make a DLC Vault Hunter, they're not going to work. they'll probably crash the game upon starting. So, if they're going to make new skill trees and dedicate their time and money to it, have them work. Like, honestly, I hope before Borderlands 4 comes out, they fix Flax's purple tree and make it fucking work. They're not going to. But yeah, just have a working skill tree. I know most people that want to choose purple are going to use fadeaway anyways, but still. I would rather just have a working skill tree. And my favourite character in Borderlands 3 is Flak. Like, playable. For favourite NPC, that's probably Zero, but let's be real, I'm not going to go into that. But yeah, just working skill trees. If you're gonna make a skill tree have them work, if they're not gonna work, then I don't know, give us our money back. Like, honestly, the fact that Flak's skill tree doesn't work is actually a scam. It is a bona fide scam because you're paying for content that doesn't work. The other 3 skill trees work, but you're paying for 75% of a DLC at that point. So Gearbox, give us 25% of our money back if you're not going to fix a skill tree. Before you say arms race counts as well, no. We didn't buy the DLC for arms race. We bought it for the skill trees. If you bought the DLC in Borderlands 3 for arms race, then you're lying. But enough about that. The final thing I do want to add to Borderlands 3, no, not Borderlands 3, to Borderlands 4, is something that people are rarely saying. At least I don't remember many people saying it. But I'm gonna say it because I want it in the game. And I think it literally embodies what Borderlands is. I want new gun rarities. Yeah, I want Pearls are great. I want Seraphs back. I want Effervescence back. Like, let's face it, Effervescence should have been in Borderlands 3 at least, and so should have Pearls, because, let's be real, without the Commander Lilith DLC, we wouldn't have a story for Borderlands 3. As much as everyone hates the Commander Lilith DLC, even I hate it. I think it's stupid, I think the bosses were designed terribly, and I think the bodies of Borderlands 2 sort of has in terms of bad qualities. It's because Borderlands 2 has bad qualities, and I will admit that. It's still my favourite game in the franchise, but it has bad qualities. But I just want Pearls back, I want Effervescence back, and I honestly want Seraphs. Because they were kind of cool, and E-Techs were also sort of interesting. And you guys could say, well, how are you gonna make them all in the game? Especially when Pearls in Borderlands 2 weren't that good. I remember the Butcher being the only one people really considered. And even then, they probably just had a conference call as a backup. And Seraph is sort of eh. And E-Techs were sort of just whatever. You know, they were a weapon that was a slightly different shade of purple. How I would fix this is, why not make Pearl legacy weapons? Oh, you want a Firehawk? Here's a Firehawk, but it's a Pearl now. Instead of a weird gimmick. Or, you know, some sort of strange, like, mechanic to it. Why not just, I don't know, have Pearls be dedicated to legacy weapons? You could have quest weapons from older games. You could have a fun legendary that you know can only be found from a specific source. I just think that would be great. I think it'd be great to have Pearls for that sort of reason. For Seraph weapons, I'm trying to remember what Seraph weapons even were. I'm going to have to search up again. Borderlands Seraph weapons. Oh yeah, they were obtained from special raid bosses. I think that'd be cool. How's the secret bosses did you get a new resource for? And hell, not anything about that. No, the Butcher isn't one. But they are between unique and legendary. Really? Oh my god. But I think this would be kind of cool. Maybe have a secret weapon that you have to kill a boss or an enemy in a specific way. Let's use Tyreen as an example, okay? Just for an example. How about you kill Tyreen with a grenade? She has a chance to drop a surf weapon. What could the surf weapons be? Well, I don't know, maybe dedicate Polesses to being a Borderlands 2 where the servs could be for pre-sequel, for example. I know servs weren't in pre-sequel, they had glitch weapons. But it'd be a nice cool weapons for a game, like maybe servs or weapons that are fine. Or they could be returning weapons from Borderlands 2 that were servs in the original. Have them do some really cool wacky things. Maybe have them be from takedowns. Like, oh, you clear a takedown? Here's a certain amount of a new currency that you get based on like how fast you did it, and you could spend that on a cool weapon. Maybe have an Iridian vendor somewhere else, because that's one thing that I don't have here, but it's something that could have been there. We could have had more crazy old vendors. People still want to be able to farm the DLC quest items, but there's no way to get them other than doing the quest. You can't just go to Handsome Jackpot and buy a weapon from like a new merchant to sell. But servs would be cool. I think servs coming back would be just a nice thing to do. You could have some, like, I don't know, maybe a serv could be a slightly better version of a gun. Like if you're going to make a Monarch, make it a serf. You know? I know I say I don't want the Monarch to come back, but if you're going to make a power creep version of a weapon, you might as well just make it something that has to be earned through a lot of grinding. Instead of, oh, I killed a boss once, here's a Monarch. Yay! But yeah, another thing I would like is the Iridian weapons from the very first game. They had a cool gimmick of infinite ammo but not great damage. I just think it'd be kind of cool. Plus, would it not be kind of interesting to see a trespasser just show up as an Iridian weapon? It doesn't need to have infinite ammo. But maybe they can have special properties, like one goes through shields, one constantly drains the enemy's shield while you look at them. Or one fires your grenade. I think Iridian weapons could come back with a new rarity and do something interesting. Because we're seeing Iridians in Borderlands 4. Clearly the way what's happening, it's just weird how it's gonna be played. Like I don't know why they're trying to invalidate pre-sequel. Like why tell everyone in Sanctuary a war is gonna happen when the only people from Sanctuary who didn't know about the war are some Crimson Raiders, Athena, and now Brick and Mordecai. And two of them were with Tina, and one's probably back on Elpis. Like, no one is going to know about the war. The war's just gonna happen. Unless Zero was somehow in the background and says, oh yeah, a war's gonna happen. Like, they're doing the war so dirty, from the looks of it. My only guess is that Lilith might show up halfway through Borderlands 4 and tell us about the war. In which case we're gonna go to Elpis super early. Like, good God. But yeah, I think just having some really cool weapon rarities would be nice. Weapons that just, you know, take some grinding to get and do some cool stuff. Oh my God, I've been going on for 45 minutes. Jeez. But, yeah. New gun rarities. I know you're gonna say, oh, legendaries invalidate. Well, make Pulse better legendaries then. But make them only Ultimate Ball Hunter. Okay. I just think we should have some cool stuff. Like, just more stuff to farm, because that's what Borderlands is in the end. For the final don't. Oh, this is one that is up there. This could be number one as well. Like, it's up there with Annoyance and a Chance. And this is very, very controversial to some people, especially those who played Borderlands 2. But what I don't want as the fifth thing is in Borderlands 4, no lifesteal skills, no lifesteal mods, no lifesteal guns. Lifesteal in Borderlands has always been bad. In 2, you always had to have a Grog just to heal. Salvador always had to have Grog, Zero always had to have Grog. Everyone had to have Grog except for Maya and Krieg, who had lifesteal built into certain skills in their trees. And even then, they had a Grog. I don't want a gun. It's just, I don't want to have a gun just for the purpose of healing. You can say, well, what about skills and mods with guns? They were handled worse in Borderlands 3. literally 75% of the playable characters in Borderlands 3 invalidate one lives. All of them invalidate one lives even. So let's go over each and every one about why they do it. I know the evil assassin's gonna hate me for this, but I'm saying it anyways. Okay? I like Zane as a character. I think he's funny. I think he has a cool concept of a skill tree where he started the game off as having to go into a bar, get slightly drunk, beat up a small guy, and then get more drunk, and then eventually pick on the biggest person in the bar. Like, Zane was basically Zane's whole skill tree was literally being an Irishman in the bar. That's literally what it was. I'm not going to say about the Scene Dead. The Scene Dead sword just gets Zane chugging 6 balls of alcohol at once and just punching everyone. But as early as level 6, he can do all the endgame content. What do you mean? Blue Tree. He gets like 5% lifesteal from one skill point. Now 5% is too much. You will see when I'm, like, you guys have already seen at this point, that when I am playing Zane, I do go down, but that's because I'm getting one shot. But for the most part, I'm just shooting the guy. Hell, I had a build a long time ago where all I did was give Zane an Atlas weapon and he never died. I guess a good thing that he's older in Borderlands 4 because, let's face it, you can make a piss take build that just outlives enemies. Like, generally, you can make a build of Zane that doesn't even kill an enemy. The enemy just dies of old age before he does. He invalidates one life, and that's why I don't like watching one life of Borderlands 3, because everyone just picks Zane. Like, oh, here's a Zane one life. Yeah, level 6, it doesn't fucking matter. You're immune to everything. The only thing that's going to kill you is an environmental hazard down in you and there's no enemies. Congratulations. It doesn't help how he gets a self-revive built into him as well. And I think the exact same tree. He can just sacrifice his clone. Or if his clone kills something, he gets back up. Now, the other characters are lifesteal. Amara's orange tree. But she has to at least be near the end of her orange tree. So watching her life up until near the end of the game can be a bit entertaining because she can die. I still think it's stupid. Obviously, hers is elemental damage, whereas Zay's is a kill skill. So one's a bit more generic than the other. Zay's is more generic because of Scene Dead. Or just killing a guy in general. While Amara is, she has to basically fight. And then she gets lifesteal. But it's still the same argument. Okay? And Amara also has a self-revive built into a green tree that when she goes in a fight for her life, boop, she's back up. She even has an action skill that she could have out that will just revive for her. It's so dumb. With her lifesteal. But her lifesteal is later in skill tree, so she's a bit less of an offender. She's still a big offender though. The next offender though, oh my god. This is a DLC thing to be honest, but I'm still going to talk about it. The Sapper class mod for Moze is just as stupid. With how common it is, it's just a class mod that all Moze has to do is get to Sanctuary, kill the first couple enemies in an area until she gets a Sapper, and then she's immune to everything. Because she gets as much lifesteal as Zane or Amara, and she gets it for just having a class mod equipped. That is more generic to Zane, but at least you just had to have a DLC for that. Like, if you don't have the DLC, you don't get it. And you could say, oh, but Zane gets Scene Dead. Yeah, Scene Dead does basically skip the whole bar fight scene, and it's just Zane, like, completely drunk punching people. But Zane was ruined by the Scene Dead. That's sort of the difference. Zane, like I described, was basically an Irishman in a bar. He went in, had a couple beers, punched someone who sat on his chair, and just started beating up everyone else in the bar slowly and methodically. That's what Zane's build was. See, there was just him getting piss-off right at the beginning. And that's just the thing, lifesteal doesn't help him. Now, Flak, he doesn't really have lifesteal built in him. He has lifesteal for his pet, but there are issues with Flak as well. Like, every character has a self-revive, let's be real. Moses is the only one with a bad self-revive. And Zane can get lifesteal if he has a crit. He gets lifesteal. If he has a King and Queen's call, he gets lifesteal. There's other guns as well, but it's having a weapon. It's like a Gwog essentially, and I still hate that. But at least Flak doesn't get lifesteal, but he gets the best self-revive in the game, Skag. If you guys will see during the video, the Skag does go down, but the Skag is such a weird hitbox that there's areas in the game where the Skag cannot die. Guardian Takedown is like one of the few areas where the Skag can die. But yeah, Flak doesn't really get a lifesteal built into him, but he sort of does as well, and I think there is a way you can give him lifesteal if you use the Perigine, I think the Perigine gives him lifesteal, or is it's like something to do with wax. Like, you can use his wax to get lifesteal. But you guys will wonder why Flak is my most played character in Borderlands 3. It's because it's the only one that can actually sort of have a challenge. He can die in a one life, even at endgame. Whereas everyone else, it doesn't matter at endgame, because as early as level 6, Zane completes a one life. Like, let's be real. If someone ever makes a challenge here saying, can you beat Borderlands 3 at under level 10? Yes, you can, because you have lifesteal. You just, like, all Zane has to do is find a way to have infinite ammo, and there's a way from to have infinite ammo, and he's got his clone, which gives him lifesteal as well. Like, lifesteal is the biggest offender in Borderlands 3 because one life's invalidated. Any endgame content is invalidated. The only thing that scares the people with lifesteal is a ledge. And Guardian Takedown is honestly a way that you can ignore it, because Guardian Takedown only has like 2 places that you can realistically fall down, and that's if you're not careful. It's just so dumb. The lifesteal has to be a mechanic in a skill tree. If you're gonna have lifesteal in a game, don't make it a piece of equipable gear. I still don't like how necessary the Grog is, don't get me wrong, but at least you just swap to the Grog. So at least you can die while you're swapping weapons. The only person you can't die with, who does have to swap to the Grog, is Salvador. And again, that's just because Salvador is stupidly designed. But hey, that's where I'm going to stop, because I've been going on for a while. And I'm going to edit this video together. I hope you guys sort of agree, or did you guys disagree? To be honest, put your opinions in the comments if you're watching this. Like, what's some things you do or don't want to Borderlands 4? What do you guys think about the points I've said for the do's and don'ts? Like, just let me know sort of your opinions as you're watching the video. You guys can call me stupid if you want, but these are the things that I want. I was thinking of doing a sort of podcasty thing where I talk to Evil Assassin and Basarici. But, the issue's just getting them both online. And we're both, well, we're all not really playing Borderlands at the moment, we're just sort of on a break. The reason I'm making this video is that I wanted to make it, because I really wanted to get this all just done. Like, this is just something I had to get off my chest, because Borderlands is a series that is fine, that is close to me, because it's been basically how I got into first person shooters. And I know Gearbox isn't going to watch this video. I know Gearbox isn't going to implement any of these changes. Like, they're not going to have new weapon rarities unless everyone wants them. They're obviously going to have some stupid mechanics. They're obviously going to have immunity phases and that. But I just need to get this off my chest. So, thank you for watching the video. Also, Happy New Year. First video of the New Year is a random video. My New Year's resolution was to have a better attitude. Although, I'll have a better attitude after this, so I will see you guys next time.